Good morning, scholars. Happy Thursday. Today in ELT, we're going to go over literal equations. We're going to go ahead and start with that number 14. Just to remind you, we went over literal equations before. What we're going to go ahead and do is number 1, identify the variable that we're solving for. In 14, we're solving for n, because that's what it asks us to do. And in order to do that, we're going to go ahead and perform inverse operations so that we have an equation that is n equals something. So in this instance, I'm going to go ahead and write it on my separate piece of paper so that Miss Hood didn't have to make a copy. And I have S is equal to 180n minus 360. And the first step that I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and perform inverse operations. I'm going to add 360. What I do to one side, I have to do to the other side. Thank you. And so I have S plus 360 is equal to 180 n. The mathematical operation that's happening between 180 and n is multiplication. So in order to get that multiplication to go away, I'm going to divide. What I do to one side, I have to do to the other side. I'm going to have S plus 360 over 180 is equal to n. I know it seems silly, but your answer for these will actually be new equations. Teachers, go ahead and pause this video, see if scholars have any other questions. You can go ahead and give them some wait time in order to do that. If they don't have any other questions, I'm going to go over one more example. We're going to go over 15. Number 15 says x over 5 minus g equals a. In this instance, it says 4x, so we're going to go ahead and solve 4x. I went and wrote it on this piece of paper. First thing I'm going to do is go ahead and perform some inverse operations. What I do to one side, I have to do to the other side. X divided by 5 equals a plus g. In order to get that division to go away in this instance, I multiply by 5. This turns into a 1. X equals, what I do to one side, I have to do to the other side. So I also multiply this side by 5. 5a plus g. You can go ahead and leave it like this, or you can also simplify it even further and go ahead and distribute out that 5. X equals 5a plus 5g. That is your answer. Again, I know it feels kind of silly to have an equation as your answer for a question, but that's what it is like for little equations. Again, one last time. Number 1, figure out the variable you're solving for. Number 2, perform inverse operations. Number 3, make sure that variable is isolated and you have a new equation. Have a good Thursday.